Hello, my name is Rosella and today I'm going to do the B paper included in this book. Click on the links in the description below to find me on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok and on my website virtuoso.com. Bye!
Rhythm. In question 1, we are asked to circle the correct time signature for the given bars. First of all, let's see what catches our eye. And in this case is this triplet sign. We have the triplet sign when the subdivisions are 2 and we're trying to fit in 3 items, 3 notes in the space of 2. So in this case they are equivalent to 2 semiquavers, which means another quaver. So a quaver and another quaver here. We are definitely in simple time, otherwise in compound time we wouldn't need this triplet sign at all, almost. So let's have a look. We have a crotchet here, another crotchet here, and another crotchet here, given the fact that we have a quaver and another quaver made up of 2 semiquavers, made up of a triplet of semiquavers. Perfect, sorry. As for this, as I usually say, pair up the dot with the value next to the one where the dot is. So for example, a quaver needs to be paired up with a semiquaver, and this is it. Also, the grouping tells us a lot. And as for the grouping, it is an important aspect of our counting and of our music writing. In fact, is the leader is really like helpful when we need to sight read or conduct or understand music. And in fact we have 3 groups of things here, 1, 2 and 3. Therefore you already, I think, know that the answer is 3/4 here. Brilliant. Let's start with grouping in this question. We have 1, 2 and 3 groups of things. So we could be in 3 halves or 6 halves, 6 eighths. Let's have a look. We have 2 quavers here, 2 quavers here, and 3 quavers here. So this is definitely an irregular amount of notes. So I think that if we see the options that we have 7 eighths or 6 eighths, which means that we should have 6 or 7 quavers in a bar, and 3 minims because the half is the minim. And in this case, I don't think we have minims here, so we can exclude this totally. So the final question is this: how many quavers do we have? 6 or 7? I would say 7 because it's irregular, as we said, but let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So the answer is 7 eighths. Oh my god. In this case, we have, look at here, I didn't spend too much time thinking and overthinking about this, especially because we have 1 semiquaver and another semiquaver here. But as we see, this is grouped together, so it must be equivalent to 1. 1 of what? In this case, quavers, because it's paired up with a quaver. So just use flow with your reading. Just let your eye guide you through the counting and the subdivisions, because this is why music is written in this way. Let the music flow through your eyes. This is such a philosophical phrase. I can publish it online, I think. Next question. We have a very complicated thing. I don't understand a thing. Let's see the grouping. I have a group here, a duplet sign, another thing here, and another thing here. So a duplet symbol makes me think of a compound time. This is because we don't need a special symbol if we are in simple time, because 2 in the space of 2 are simply sorted. In this case, they are 2 notes in the space of 3, so this is equivalent to 3 quavers, 3 of the same kind. So we are in compound time, and the orientation value, the counting value, is the quaver because of this. So let's count the quavers. 1 quaver, one quaver, and one quaver. And we see that we have 3 quavers here. Now this is a syncopation. A syncopation takes place when a longer note sits between 2 shorter notes. And in this case, 2 semiquavers and 1 semiquaver here. And it gives a pace that moves forward and skims much more than the normal pace. Instead of da, 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 we have da, 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 da. So you see that it flows much more. So it's a very interesting rhythm that the composers would use to make the pace a bit more interesting, a bit more con moto, for example. Yeah, con moto would have probably this dan, 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 dan. I remember when I was a student and I would see like a piece based on syncopation, I would feel like, oh, this is difficult. Because you always need to think ahead twice as much. Anyway, this is a topic for a video. So we have one quaver, and another quaver. So all of this is 3 quavers, okay, all together. And then we have one quaver, and the other quaver. Do we need to count? Not really, no. We can remember that 4 demisemiquavers equals 1 quaver, but we can also understand that this is the last thing on our counting. And so we have 2 floating quavers. This must be another quaver. Okay, so this is another group. We have 3 quavers, and 3 quavers. The answer is 9/8. Brilliant. Did I go too fast? I hope not. Let me know if so. But you can always rewatch it, and you can always pause and think. This is the best part of YouTube, that you have access to things whenever you want. So on demand, and then you can pause and think and go back to your notes or take notes. And this is a very good way of learning. Excellent. Next question. In the second question, we are asked to tick the box that shows this bar correctly rewritten in simple time. First, let's start with the time signature as ever, because we need to understand what to look for, what to count, and how to count. What is the value, the counting value? So we have 12/8. That means 12 quavers. Divided in 3. So we have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Now, if you want to go and watch the TikTok video that I made about the transition from compound, the rewriting from compound to simple, I link it below or on the card up here. But you can consider that 3 quavers equals to 2. Because 3 seats become 2 seats. So, to fit 3 items in the space of 2, we need a special symbol because we don't have enough space for 3. And I always say that it is like when you're walking home and you bump into somebody that offers you a lift, but it's the 3 of you, and at the back of the car there are just 2 seats. So the person would say like, oh, if you can squeeze in, you can. You can get in and I'll bring you home. And you have to squeeze in. So 3 in the space of 2. And to do that, we need a special symbol, which is this. So squeeze in, but the space is the same. We can't enlarge the car to make the seats for the 3 people that need a lift, but they can squeeze in a way or another. Contrastingly, 2 quavers fit perfectly in the space of 2 because they have 1 seat each. So we can remove the special symbol. And a dotted crotchet that lasts 3 would simply last 2 by taking this dot away. There you go. So this is the figure that we need to find, and I believe that we have it here. So this is the correct answer. And by the way, I didn't continue my reflection on the time signature. 12, so 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I said that we have 3 quavers that become 2. So we have 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. This means 4/4. So this is the right answer, also because we have 4/4. 3/4 will be not correct, and it will be equivalent to 9/8. Okay, so this is equivalent to 9/8. All right, sorry about that. And question 3. In this question, we have to complete the 2 sentences by adding a number to each. In 6/16, so 6 semiquavers grouped in 3, there are a number of dotted quaver beats. So 6/16 means 3 and 3 semiquavers grouped in 3, so 2 groups of 3, and each of the group is equal to a dotted quaver, because 2 semiquavers equals a quaver, and the dot is made up of this semiquaver. So we have 2 dotted quaver beats. In 4/8, so 4 quavers, in this case it is a simple time because we have 1, 2 and 1, 2. This and the quaver is equal to, so basically we have a crotchet and a quaver. So 1 quaver, 1 quaver, and 1 quaver. We have 3 quaver beats. This is 1 quaver, 1 quaver, and 1 quaver. So 3. Sorted. Is it all clear so far? Let me know it in the comments, and let me know if you need help. Question 4. In question 4, we need to tick the box that shows the bar grouped correctly, and we are in 4/4, which means 1 and 2 crotchets on a side and 1 and 2 crotchets on the other side. The key to answer this question is to have this gap here, so we would really need to see the half of the bar. We really need to see this. If you don't see this, be suspicious. Look at this. Where's the half of the bar? Look at this. This is so confusing. I think I've already told you what the answer is, but let's analyze it. We need to see 1 crotchet and 1 crotchet. And where are they? We have 1 quaver, 1 quaver. So this is the first crotchet. Okay, this is the first crotchet. Look at this crotchet here. 1, 2, 1, 2. They need to be together. We can't really split this into 2. So this is incorrect. Let's have a look at this. In this case, the first crotchet has been divided into 2 quavers. This is in quavers. This is 8 quavers. 8/8. This could be a 8/8, because we have a quaver, a quaver, a quaver, a quaver, a quaver, a quaver, and this would be incorrect because we're not thinking in quavers anymore. But the answer is this, because we have 1 crotchet, 1 crotchet, 1 crotchet, and 1 crotchet. Let me rub this out because it might be confusing. Do you agree with this? Was your answer the same? I hope so. Question 5. In this question, we need to tick across the boxes to show that the added rest has been correctly or incorrectly written. We are in 6/8. First of all, the time signature. If you forget this, guys, there is no hope that you can answer this question correctly, because you really need to see how we need to count and what the value of the counting is. Otherwise, you don't know how to think. You don't know how to understand the writing. Anyway, so 6/8 means 6 quavers grouped in 3. So 2 groups of 6 quavers. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Perfect. So 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3. I think this is correct. Yeah, Perfect. Next one. 1, 2, 3. Great. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So this is confusing many. This is correct. These two quavers cannot be merged into a crotchet simply because the crotchet can only merge the first and second place of the bar, not the second and the third. Don't ask me why, because that's the rule in music. Only the first group can be merged, not the second group. This is down to probably the fact that our eye perceives the group, the bigger group first and then the smaller one afterwards, and we count, for example, if we count 3, we count 2 plus 1 instead of 1 plus 2. Probably this is the reason why it is like that, but I'm just speculating here, to be honest. This is incorrect. A minim rest can only be, a crotchet rest could only merge the first two places, and in this case we can't. So this is correct. 1, 2, 3. Last one, we have a syncopation again. So 1 quaver surrounded by 2 semiquavers, and this one is made up of 2 demisemiquavers. So I think this is, so this part is correct. Okay, 1 quaver, and we need another quaver here. So we cannot merge basically here. This is incorrect, by the way, because they've joined these 2 items together. So we have 1 and 2, okay, 1 and 2. But then the third part, this needed to be like that, basically. So we need to have the third, this will be the third quaver of this group, and this will be the first quaver of the second group. So it is incorrect. This exercise is really helpful because it includes a couple of things that are a bit annoying. People tend to forget these things, so take a note of what I've said and highlight this exercise. I would do that if I were you. Second section. In this second section we talk about pitch, and in the first question we are asked to write the correct name for this note, and to do that we need to understand the clef. The clef is the alto clef, and we read it treble clef +1. If you don't know what I'm talking about, click on the link in the description below or on the card up here. It tells you everything you need to know about clefs, and it allows you to read immediately and fluently with no issues at all. So this in treble clef would be B, C, because middle C is here, +1 is Do, so C. So this is B +1, so C. Great. Question number 2. We need to find the enharmonic equivalent of this note, and the enharmonic equivalent is a note that sounds the same, but it's called differently. So let me write my usual keyboard here. Okay, B double flat is this, yeah, this one here. This note could be called La, A, or Sol double sharp, and in this case we have Sol double sharp. So this is the answer. If you write a keyboard, a small keyboard, I think this exercise becomes very, very easy. It's all down to seeing it properly. During the exam you're not allowed to bring any notes with you, but when you do it you need to scan the scrap paper. There is obviously blank, and then when you start the exam, so you click start, then you can draw your keyboard. Perfect. Next one. In this question, we are asked to tick or cross the boxes to show that this bar has been correctly or incorrectly transposed up a perfect fifth, because probably this is for a horn. Oh yeah, cor anglais, yeah. So first of all, the key signature, we have one sharp, so we are in G major, and I need a keyboard. Okay, G major plus a perfect fifth. A perfect fifth is 3.5 tones. So from G, we need to count 1, 2, 3.5. So it becomes D major. Now, if this is a minor key, it doesn't really matter because the minor and relative major share the same key signature. So it's the same. D major has 2 sharps, and this is it. So it is correct. Now, note per note, we need to transpose it. So Fa sharp, okay, don't forget this, otherwise you end up finding another note. Fa sharp plus 3 tones and a half. 1, 2, 3.5 is Do sharp. Do sharp is here. Re sharp. 1, 2, 3.5 is La sharp. In this case we have G sharp, so no, this is incorrect. By the way, why do I call this note A sharp and not B flat? Because we need a fifth, and a fifth is Re, Mi, Fa, Sol, La. Is the fifth note. It's A, not B. This is important. Why is it important? If you think of chords, you understand the importance of calling the notes as they are, otherwise the chord changes. And if the chord changes, the harmony changes as well. And so we have another sequence of chords. It could be a different cadence, it could be no cadence at all, it could be another meaning of the chords. Okay, so it is important. Mi becomes, let's have a look, 1, 2, 3.5, B. So this is also correct. La sharp, 1, 2, 3.5. So La sharp becomes Mi sharp. La, Si, Do, Re, Mi, E sharp. But in this case, E is not sharp. So it is incorrect. And this is the final answer to our third question. I hope it was useful, and let's move on to exercise 4. In this question, we need to compare the bars and circle true or false for each of the statements. To answer this question, as I always say, we need to do this. If the pitch you want to know, middle C, are you above or below? Middle C in treble clef is here. Middle C in treble clef is here. Middle C, sorry, in treble clef, in the tenor clef. In the bass clef, middle C is here. So let's observe now what's happening. I don't know why I wrote them like before. Anyway, okay. These are the same notes because it's almost an octave above, almost an octave above. This one is below. So A and B are both 1 octave above C. A and B, 1 octave above C. I've already answered the questions anyway. A and B are the same pitch. Yes, I've just said that. Almost an octave above. A is 1 octave higher than C. Yes, because this is just here and this is just below. So yes, correct. B is an octave lower than C. No, because they are the same. So this is false. This is super quick. And the only way to do that is to identify where middle C is. And why that is important, because most, not all of them, but most of the clefs, and you know this when you watch the videos that I made about clefs, most of them relate to middle C. So this is the only way to identify the notes quickly and especially safely, correctly. Section 3. This is a very important section of our exam because it's quite long, it gives us 15 points, and sometimes it could be a bit off-putting because we have a couple of questions that are a little bit more long to answer. But don't despair, we sort that out and I'll help you. I think I found a way of identifying the answer for the first 2 questions in the quickest way, and you can know them very well if you watch the videos relating to key signatures that I link below or on the card up here. Anyway, in these videos I say that the key signature is a symbol that is always the same, and with the flats it has always the shape of a zigzagging shape going down. And in this case we have, this one is incorrect because the pattern is broken. This one is also this one is incorrect because the pattern doesn't start properly on the way down. Okay, we need to have a lower note, so this is incorrect. This could be correct and this could be correct, so let's analyze it. If we go to the tenor clef, middle C is here, right? This is middle C. The first flat is B, is always B. So it should be 1 note below. And in this case, it's 2 notes below. In fact, this flat is written in treble clef. So this is incorrect because the flats have the wrong order. This is the correct answer, treble clef. Si, mi, la, re, sol, do, and fa is missing. This is the order of flats. Next one, we need to identify the correct key signature for G sharp minor. And we have 5 sharp in each of the examples, so we can be sure that G sharp minor has 5 sharps. And in fact, it's a relative minor of B major that has 5 sharps. So the key signature with sharps, we have 2 symbols here. One for all the clefs apart from the tenor clef, so they are 3 curves, of which the first one is longer. In the tenor clef is actually an ascending curved shape, like that. Let's have a look. We don't have the right shape here because the alto clef follows this shape. We don't have the right shape here because we're missing the first small curve. We might have the right shape here, and we might have the right shape here. So same as above, the treble and tenor clef compete for the first place, the winning place. Let's have a look. The first sharp is fa, F, and this is re, D. So this is incorrect. Same as before, but opposite, because this is written in bass clef. So goodbye to you. And I think that this is correct. In fact, this is treble plus 1, so G, fa plus 1 is G. So this is correct. Excellent. This is all done and is the quickest way. Trust me, I can't see a way that is quicker than this because we don't even look at the notes sometimes. Anyway, question 3. As we're here, guys, thank you so much for watching my videos, for sending them to your friends. I know that some of you are also supporting me with some donations, with some super thanks, special thanks on YouTube, and stickers during the premieres that you can buy. And I thank you so much for your support. It means a lot to me. You can also subscribe to my newsletter. The link is below, and you can receive some fortnightly emails with tips for practicing, for learning, and handouts, special promo codes for guides, comprehensive guides to answer the questions, and much more. In this question, we need to circle the correct key for the given melodies. So this could be very tricky, but follow my steps, okay? And first we need the order of sharps and flats. Fa, do, sol, re, la, mi, si. Fun colouring gigantic drawings after eating breakfast. Again, watch the videos about key signatures to understand what the hell I'm saying. The flats are opposite. Si, mi, la, re, sol, do, fa. Big elephants ate dinosaurs, goat, cheese and figs. Okie dokie. So we don't have a key signature, but we can make our own one by putting a dot close to the sharps. So for example, in this case, we have fa sharp and re sharp. Okay, when you have a gap between the sharps, this means that this is the leading note. And the leading note is a semitone below the tonic. So D sharp plus 1 semitone equals E. This is in E minor. Here it is. E minor is the relative minor of G major, and G major has 1 sharp. So it all makes sense. B major would have had lots of sharps. E major, 4 sharps, but here we don't have do and sol. So for example, do is not sharp, so no. And A minor has no sharps, no flats, because it's the relative minor of C major. Second exercise, still with sharps. I will just rub out these. We have la sharp, first the clef, okay? I didn't say it before because I always look at the clef first, but I should say it actually. Clef first, treble. So this is la, this is do, this is re, this is la again, do, fa finally, and E sharp, G is missing, and it is missing because there is no G in this melody, but of course there is. There should be. The last sharp is E. We are in a major key because there is no gap between the sharps. They are all aligned. So our key signature has 6 sharps, which means that we go to the last one, raise it up of a semitone and find the key. So E sharp plus 1 semitone equals F sharp major. This is it. E major would have had just 4 sharps, and how could we justify these two? I don't know. B major would have had 5 sharps, and C sharp minor is the relative minor of E major, so same sharps, 4. Okay, sorted. Last example, bass clef, so treble plus 2 if you need. This is re flat, B flat, Mi flat, B flat, re flat, Mi flat. Okay, we are missing la. There is actually here. In this case, this can be considered as a gap. And when there is a gap like that, it means that this has been raised because it's the leading note of a minor key. And it's a semitone, the tonic is a semitone above. So la natural plus 1 semitone is B flat. So in this case, we are in B flat minor. This is it. B flat minor is the relative minor of D flat major, 3 semitones above. And D flat major has 5 flats. Now in this case, we don't have G flat in our melody, And you could say like, how can I know if that we are in B flat minor and not in D flat major? Because in D flat major we would have A flat, so this would have been flat. You have to raise it if you are in a minor key because it's the leading note, and the leading note is a semitone below in major as well as in minor scales, and this is important. But in the major scales, the leading note is already naturally a semitone below, so we don't need to raise anything up, and I hope this is clear. F minor is the relative minor of A flat with 4 flats, and we can't have a natural in an A flat key, that's for sure. We talked about D flat, and E flat minor is the relative minor of G flat major, and G flat has many flats, like 6. And this do here, see, is not flat, so it can't be. Sorted. I don't know how it took me to answer this, but I hope that it is all clear, and I hope that this makes sense. Do rewatch the video, play it slower, take notes. I'm also creating a guide to answer this question, so watch this space and stay in touch with me if you want more clarification about how to answer this question. For now, question 4. In question 4, we need to tick the box that shows the correct, the note name that would make this a B melodic minor scale correctly written. We are in the alto clef. Don't panic, it's treble plus 1. You can also write the names of the notes. So B minor, so the first note is B and the last one is B, okay? So Si, La, Sol, Fa, Mi, Re, Do, Si. We have a sharp here. So B minor is the relative minor of D major, and D major has 2 sharps, Fa and Do. So our second note is La. The sharps are Fa and Do. Is it included in the key signature? No. Oh, and by the way, the melodic minor is the natural scale, so we just need to follow the key signature, not more raised notes. So La is not in the key signature, so we need to tick La, not La sharp or La double sharp. Okay? Fa is in our key signature, so Fa is actually sharp, and this is it. Perfect. All done. I hope it is useful. Let's turn the page together. This is another long question to answer, but if you follow my steps, I try to make it as quick as possible. We need to circle the only clef that would make these 3 scales a minor scale. So the only way to answer this question is to try every single clef, and you will see that some of them actually don't make sense. So let's see. If this is in treble clef, this note will be Mi, E. E minor is the relative minor of G major, and G major has 1 sharp, and this could be correct because we have 1 sharp, but also we have 1 flat here. So I don't think this makes sense. So it can't be the treble clef. The second example is the bass clef, and in bass clef this note will be G. Now G minor is the relative minor of B flat, and B flat has 2 flats, including B, this one here. So it can't be. This seems like an A harmonic scale, by the way, this augmented second. So this could be of help. In the alto clef, treble plus 1, this note will be Fa, F. F minor is the relative minor of A flat major, and A flat major has loads of flats. I think I need to write the order. La, mi, si, and then si, mi, la, re, sol, do, fa. Si, mi, la, re, sol, do, fa. Perfect. So in A flat we have, A flat major we have 4 flats, and I don't think this is the case. So, no. The only clef left is the tenor clef. So we can circle it, and I'll tell you what scale we have. Treble -1, this is D. D minor is the relative minor of F major. F major has 1 flat, and it's B flat, which is this one. So this is B flat, C sharp, and Re. So that makes sense. Second example. In treble clef, this could be Do sharp. C sharp minor is the relative minor of E major, and E major has 4 sharps because this is the key signature. So let's have a look. We would have Fa sharp, which is here, Do sharp, which is here, So sharp, and Re sharp. So I think, because it's a descending scale, this is a melodic descending scale of C sharp minor. But to be absolutely sure, we need to exclude the other ones. So let's have a look. Some of them would not make sense, so we will be lucky with that. In bass clef, this is E sharp. E sharp minor doesn't exist. In the alto clef, this is Re sharp. So D sharp minor is the relative minor of F sharp, and F sharp has many sharps, many more, 6, almost all of them. This is not the case. And in tenor clef, this is B sharp minor, it doesn't exist. So goodbye. So the answer can only be the treble clef. Brilliant. Next one. An ascending scale. I do expect that these ones are raised, so this is a melodic scale, simply because we don't have, I don't know, I just feel it, I don't know. In treble clef, this would be Do. C minor is the relative minor of E flat, and E flat has 3 flats, and this is not the case, but we have a flat here. These 2 should be flat. It could be that they are raised, because this could be B and this could be A. So this may be a C minor scale, melodic scale, ascending with these 2 raised. Honestly, I think that this is the answer. Could we have 2 treble clef as an answer? I think so. Why not? In bass clef, we have, this note could be E. E minor is the relative minor of G major, and G major has 1 sharp, and this is not the case. Treble +1, this is D. D minor is the relative minor of F major with 1 flat only, and this flat is B, not F, so this is not possible. In the tenor clef, this is -1, so B minor. B minor is the relative minor of D major that has 2 sharps, and this is not the case. So yes, the answer was the treble clef again, and it's a melodic scale, C minor, melodic, ascending. Why am I not writing them? I could have done it. This is C sharp minor, descending, and this is, we said, D minor, harmonic. Yeah. Why didn't I do this before? Who knows? I don't know. I could also do this here to say that they are raised from the key signature. Yeah, that's a good way of presenting the answers here. Yeah. Okay. Question 6. In this question, we need to circle true or false for each of the chromatic scales to say that they are correctly or incorrectly written. And to do that, I will write a keyboard here. Okay. I don't know how to do this. Anyway, in treble clef, this is Sol, G. Okay, so Sol, So flat, Fa, Mi flat, Re sharp. This is the same note. So this is wrong. We don't need to check further. It's the same note. This is an enharmonic equivalent. So no. End of the story. Let's move on to the next one. This is in bass clef and this is G sharp. So sharp, La sharp, B, Do sharp, Re sharp, Mi sharp, Fa sharp, Fa double sharp and Sol. Yeah, it's a bit awkward, but it's correct. Let's do that again. Sol, La sharp, Si, Do sharp, Re sharp, Mi sharp, Fa double sharp. Yeah, that's correct. And So sharp. Yeah, that's correct. Bit awkward, but not very easy to read here, but it's correct. Great. Last question. In this question, we need to circle true or false for each statement. This B sharp is the leading note of C sharp minor. Yes, because the leading note is the 7th degree and it's a semitone below. So it's -1 semitone. So yes, it is. This note, La flat, is the mediant, so the 3rd degree of F major. Not really, because F major has just one flat, which is B. This is the mediant of F minor. So this is false. And La sharp is the dominant, so the 5th degree of D sharp minor. Now, D sharp minor, the dominant is the 5th, so La, Si, Do, Re, Mi, Fa, Sol, La. So La is the note. D sharp minor is the relative minor of F sharp, and F sharp has 6 sharps, including A. So it is true. Brilliant. Finished. Excellent. We can move on to the 4th section. In this section, we have 3 questions about intervals, and I know that this could be a bit confusing, so watch this space because I am publishing useful things about intervals, a comprehensive guide of how to answer these questions, plus downloadable for free, a grade of the intervals and their distances, the main distances. That it's very useful, and this is totally for free, so click on the link below or up here. You can receive these special guides by subscribing to my newsletter. In the first question, we need to tick the box that shows the correct name of each of the 3 intervals. And the first one is a 7th. We can see it, but let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now, the 7th is a 2nd reverse. So if we do this, if we write this note below or this note above, we find a 2nd. Now we need to identify the type of this 2nd. and decide whether, and reverse it as well. This is the flipping over technique that I've kind of not invented, but I've just used. I need a keyboard, and I write it here so I can use it for 2 exercises. Okay, let's count the number of tones and semitones between these 2 notes. A major second should only have 1 tone. So let's have a look. From B flat, 1.5. So instead of 1 tone, we have 1.5. So we have expanded the interval. So from major, we made it augmented. As an augmented second reversed, so flipped over again, becomes a diminished 7th, and this is the answer. Okay, so this is the flipping over technique. First, we flip over the notes by putting this down or raising this up. Then we have a second. We identify the type of second and we reverse everything. A 7th becomes a second. Major becomes minor, diminished becomes augmented, and then we reverse it back again. So this is an augmented second that reversed becomes a diminished 7th. I hope this is clear, but wait for the guide to be published because it will make massive changes to your learning. Next one. This is a compound interval because it's higher than an octave. So let's put this down to identify it, and then we add compound. First, the name of the note, middle C is here. Do, re, mi, fa, sol. This is sol sharp. And this is mi. So let's write a sol sharp down here. Oh, well, we don't need the sharp. Anyway, yeah. We don't need this sharp because it's in the key signature. Okay, mi, sol sharp. Is a third, mi, fa, sol. Let's have a look. What type of third? A major third is 2 tones. So let's have a look. 1 and 2. Oh, this is 2 tones. So this is a compound major third. And we have a major 10th. We need to do 3 plus 7 to find the other name of an interval. So this is a compound or compound major third, or a major 10th is the same. So this is the answer. Okay, next one. This is definitely another compound interval because it's a bit more than an octave. Middle C is here, so this is re. Let's put it down of an octave and we find a second. A major second is 1 tone. This is do and this is re. So we have do, re. 2 steps, 2 semitones equals 1 tone equals a major second. So this is it. Done. Brilliant. Question 2. In this question, we need to circle the type of interval, but to circle the type of interval, we need to identify the interval. So there is also a TikTok video that I made of this, and you can watch it. Subscribe to my TikTok account, and you will see many of these. First, the names of the notes, so sharp and re. It is a 5th, so la, si, do, re. Okay, it is a 5th. A 5th is 3 tones and a half. So let's count. 1, 2, 3 and a half. So we need to have D sharp to have a perfect 5th. But because we have D instead, our interval has shrunk. So instead of perfect, it became diminished. I hope this makes sense. This is a third, 1, 2 and 3. So we have, the notes are sol and B flat. This is why we have a key signature, to trick you here. This is a third, so again, a major third is 2 tones. Let's have a look. 1.5. So we don't have 2, but 1.5. So it's not major. Yes, a third is major, but it's a major interval, major third. We have a minor third. So this is minor. Sorry guys, can I just say that in the previous exercise, we have a compound major second, not a major second. I am so sorry about it. It's a compound major second. I'm changing it now. I'll post a picture somewhere. Sorry about it. I just forgot to raise it up of an octave again. Anyway, last exercise. This is again a compound interval because it's more than an octave. This is Do and this is La flat. Let's put it down of an octave to find the simple interval. And this is a sixth. Now a sixth flipped over becomes a third. So we can write it here. Okay, flat. La flat, Do. What type of third is it? Let's have a look. A major third is 2 tones, so 1 and 2. So this is a major third, which means the flipped over major becomes minor, and the third becomes a sixth. So this is a minor sixth, and this is a compound minor sixth. So minor. This is the final answer. I hope it is useful. Last exercise. In this exercise, we need to write the notes, and in the exam, you will need to drag the notes. Okay, so make sure that you put it higher than the given note. And I am underlining this because the intervals work both ways, up or down. And it's just that the question asks us to put it higher than the given notes. Otherwise, it's the same. So it won't be a musical mistake, but it will be a mistake for the paper, for the question. An augmented fifth. So first we need to find the name of the note. This is B flat, Si, Do, Re, Mi, Fa, F. Oh, we need a keyboard. Forgot about it. Okay, a perfect fifth is 3.5 tones. So let's have a look. 1, 2, 3.5. So I've just written a perfect fifth, but we need to make it augmented, so we need to add an extra thing, a semitone. And so instead of Fa, I need A sharp. And this is the final answer. Next one, we need a minor seventh, which flipped over is a major second. So we need to find a major second from B flat. Definitely is a note below. So B flat, a major second from B flat is 2 semitones, 1 tone away. So 1, A flat. We need a flat here because there's no flat in the key signature. It's not A flat. And then we raise it of an octave because a major second flipped over becomes a minor seventh. That's it. Next one. A major sixth, another flipped over interval. A major sixth is a minor third flipped over. So from Fa, we need 1, 2, 3 steps. We find Re. Now, Fa sharp Re, let's have a look. It's 1 and 2. This is a major third. We need to make it minor, and we can only change this note because this is fixed. So instead of a major interval, we need a minor interval. So we need to raise this note up And if we put a sharp, it would be like a tone and a half away. 1.5. At this point, we raise this up of an octave, and the minor third becomes a major sixth without us doing anything. Just raising it up of an octave. I hope this technique is clear. Again, wait for the guide to be published and then you have all you need in there. The last example is a perfect 11th. Now, a perfect 11 is a compound perfect. To do that, you need to 11 minus 7 is a fourth. So a compound perfect fourth. So first we find a perfect fourth and then we raise it up of an octave. This is mi. 4 notes up is 1, 2, 3, 4. We find la. Now let's see what type of interval mi la is, and then if it's perfect, we are perfect. We are happy. Otherwise we need to do something. Mi, so let's count. So 1, 2.5. So la is already, mi la is already a perfect fourth. So what we need to do is to raise this la up of an octave, and we found the final note. This is it. I am just going to rub out these things so it won't be confusing, and you have the answer as it should be written on your screen when taking the exam. And with this, we have finished the 4th section. Let's turn the page together. The 5th section relates to chords, and we have 3 questions. Each of them goes a little bit further deep into the topic. It's about chords and cadences. So let's have a look. We need to, in the first example, we need to identify the chords that we have, and they should form a cadence, but so we can only find the 1st, 2nd, 4th and 5th chord. Let's have a look. First, the key. We have 2 sharps, so we can be in D major or B minor, and in this case I think that we are in D major. Yes, we are in D major. Yeah, this is not relating to B minor. So we are in D major. Perfect. Okay. Some notes could be passage notes, and I'll tell you more when we get there. In this case, we have, let's have a look, we have fa sharp, la, and the fa sharp, re. Okay, we need to put them in order now. By putting the notes in order, it means that we need to have this shape where we have the notes in order of a scale, and the first one is on, off, on, off, on. Okay, so I think that the order here is re, mi, fa, sol, la. So re, fa sharp, and la. Of course, the bottom note is re, which is the same as the chord, the key chord. So this is chord number 1. In the second chord, we have just 2 notes. To find the passage notes, by the way, if you play the notes together in this bar, you have do, re, mi. Okay, so they are like these. Obviously, one is an extra note, and it's this one, because the shape is this. So if you have these notes, this is the extra one. If you have these notes, this is the extra one. If you have these notes, this is still the extra one, okay? So we find these 2 notes, but we don't know if these notes are the 1st and 3rd or the 3rd and 5th. And how do we know it? Okay, so first of all, let's write them down. This is the passage note, C sharp and mi. Now, the only chords that we can find here are 1st, 2nd, 4th and 5th. So if we add a note down, for example, so if C sharp is the middle note, so we go to do, si, la, so A is the other note, we have La, Do sharp, Mi. La, in this case, is the 5th degree of D, so it could be that this is 1-5. To double check, let's consider C sharp as the first. So Do sharp, Mi, Sol. In this case, Do is the 7th degree of D sharp, of D major. So it can be, this is the chord. It's an A major chord and it's the 5th. It's the chord it's 5, chord 5, it's called. Chord 5. Brilliant. Next one, we have a passage note here clearly, and I think it's this one because we have, let's have a look, Sol, Mi, Sol is repeated, La and Si. Okay, in order they are Sol, La, Si, Mi, Fa, Sol, La, Si, Mi, Fa, Sol, La, Si. Clearly, this is the note, the extra note, which is La. So this is not belonging to the chord, and the chord is Mi, Sol, Si. Mi is the 2nd degree of D, of the scale of D. So this is chord 2. And it makes sense because it's listed here. Second, we have many notes, but not really because most of them are repeated. So Sol, Re, Si. Re, Sol, Si. Perfect. Let's put them in order. I think it's Si, Sol, La, Si, Do, Re. So Sol, La, Si, Sol, La, Si, Do, Re. Sol, Si, Re. Sol is the bottom note, and for D major is the 4th degree. So this is chord 4. To be honest with you, I either expect 1 here or 5, because this is an imperfect cadence, by the way. And this one could be a plagal or an imperfect cadence again. It depends. So let's have a look. We have La and Do. This is clearly the, what's this called? The passage note. La and Do. La and Do are the 2nd and 3rd notes of F major. So clearly this is not, F is the 3rd degree, so it isn't. It can be Fa. It can be. So it has to be above. So La, Si, Do sharp, by the way. Re, Mi. La, Si, Do, Re, Mi. A. A is the 5th degree. So at the bottom we expected either D, but this is not possible here, or A, and in this case we have the 5th degree. So this is chord 5. This is the most logical way of answering this question, and I hope that this makes sense and it's helpful. Question 2. In this question we need to do the same as above, literally the same. The only thing is that above I've written the names of the cadences as an extra thing. Here we need to identify the cadences, and we've been given the key. Thank you very much, very helpful. So let's do it. We have Re, Re, Fa sharp, and La. Re is doubled, and Re, Fa, La is already a chord in order. Re, Mi, Fa, Sol, La. So Re is the bottom note, and for G is the 5th degree. Sol, La, Si, Do, Re. So this is chord 5. We expect, I expect number 1, chord 1, because the other possible cadence is interrupted cadence 5-6, but it's not included in the grade 5 theory syllabus, so I think this is 5-1. Anyway, so Sol, Si, Re, and Sol. Sol is doubled, and this is already a G major chord. So this is 5-1. Why did I do things like... anyway, perfect, 5-1. Next one, we are in C major. The notes are Fa, Do, Fa, La. Fa is doubled, and it's Fa, La, Do. Fa, Sol, La, Si, Do. Fa, La, Do. Fa is the 4th degree. Do, re, mi, fa in C major. So this is chord 4. Let's see, after this we could have a chord 5 or a chord 1 to make it an imperfect or a plagal cadence. Let's see what we've got. I'm doing that again. Oh. Do, mi, sol. Do is doubled and do, mi, sol is already in order and is chord 1. So the cadence is 4-1 plagal. There you go. Done. Question 3. In this question we need to do the same as above, but then identifying the inversion of the chords. We are in B flat major. Excellent. So the note names first. Mi flat, we have 2 flats, so we need to consider that. Mi flat again, sol, and another mi flat. So we have 2 notes, mi flat and sol. Now if we add a note below, that will be do, mi, sol, but C for B flat major is the 7th degree, so I don't think it's our note. C is our missing note. I think it's above, so mi flat, sol, la, si, B flat. So mi flat, sol, and C flat. This is an E flat chord, and it makes sense because for B flat major is the 4th degree. Si, do, re, si, do, re, mi, E flat. Now, at the bottom of the chord on the score, do we have E flat, G, or B flat? Oh my God, what's going on today? It's because when I call the notes with ABC, I'm so... do we have mi flat, sol, or C flat? Oh, there you go. We have mi flat, so this is 4A. This chord is 4A. So good, 4. Next one. We have mi flat, another mi flat, sol. Now apparently this is the same, but no, we have do. So we have the same chord as before. We have do, mi flat, and sol. The bottom note is do, and it's the 2nd degree of B flat major. So I said it incorrectly here. I thought it was, anyway, sorry. And it's the 2nd degree. So the 2nd degree, and in this case, at the bottom of our chord, do we have do? Do we have mi flat, or do we have sol? At the bottom we have mi flat, so this is 2B. And this is the answer. Does it make sense? Brilliant. Fa, re, fa, B flat. Fa is doubled, so in order I think it's si, do, re, mi, fa. So it's B flat at the bottom, re and fa, B flat. B flat for B flat is the 1st, so this is an interesting cadence. It's not a cadence actually. At the bottom of our chord, do we have B flat, do we have re, or do we have fa? We have fa, so this is 1C. This is the first of the chord, the first chord of an extended cadence. This is 1C, 5A, 1A. This is a typical cadence. 1C, 5A, 1A. 1C. That's it. This is all sorted. And again, this is the most logical way. If you follow step by step, this system, step by step, it will bring you to the right answers. And I hope you appreciate that. Section 6. In this section, we need to answer questions about terms, signs, and instruments. Some of the answers could be only reached if we know things. So we need to learn a few pieces of knowledge, but there are not many. And you can use your experience. You can try to learn as you talk to your friends that play another instrument, or when you play, when you practice on a new score, try to remember the terms that you find, the meaning that they have, the way you play when you find these terms. And then you will see that slowly, little by little, you will remember the terms. The best way is to make your knowledge part of your experience, so it becomes a deeper knowledge. Okay, vite is a French term for quick. There you go. Quick. Traurig is the German term for sad. And aniente is an Italian term that means to nothing. Niente, nothing. So, for example, when there is a diminuendo and it's written a niente afterwards, it means that you need to diminish the volume to nothing until really a fading, like a digital fading made properly with waves. In this case, you have to create it with blowing or with pedaling or with singing. So really like turning the volume down until there is no sound at all. And this part is interesting because it focuses on what the silence that comes after that. So you will need to pause a second to feel that nothing. This is really nice. I need to make a video about this. Question 2. We need to identify the interval, the written out intervals. Okay. This one here is made up of 3 notes, and one is going up and down, da da da, da da da. So I think it's an upper mordent, yeah, because the appoggiatura is just 2, ta ra. The turn has 5, and the trill has many, so none of them. This one here is an appoggiatura. Oh, this is interesting. Okay. The difference between appoggiatura and acciaccatura. Appoggiatura means appoggiare. So this is appoggiare. So like really accompany things. Tara, tara. It's a gentle gesture. It's not abrupt. While acciaccatura is like tra, tra. That kind of thing. Acciaccare means stamp your feet on something. Tra. And it's not pleasant, so it's a bit more abrupt. Appoggiatura is ta-da, ta-da. It's gentle, more gentle, more gentle. Question 3. Here we need to circle true or false for the statements relating to mainly instruments or terms. The cello can be played con sordina, yes, because the sordina is a kind of thing that you put close to the bridge, and it makes this sound more weak, a bit more like it takes out the harmonics of the sound, and the strings vibrate less intensely, so the sound is weaker. So yes, it's true. This sign means spreading the notes of a chord from the bottom. Yes, this is arpeggiato. Arpeggiato. The arpeggio is da di da. Okay, so if you play it, you can play 2 notes. Well, 2 notes now. 3, 4, 5, 6 notes, 7 notes with both hands. One hand, it depends. So yes, true. The trumpet has a lower range of trombone, not really. One means big, and when something is big, so trumpet in Italian is tromba, and trombone is a bigger trumpet. Let me write it here. Tromba. So the tromba can't be lower than trombone because trombone is bigger, and when an instrument is bigger, the sound is lower. So false. The bassoon fagotto sometimes uses the tenor clef. Yes. When it needs to reach out notes that are very low, using the treble clef allows the composers to remain on the stave, to write the notes on the stave, and this makes the reading much more easy and direct to follow. Yeah. A baritone is the lowest sounding voice, not because there is the bass that is also lower. Bass, low. So, false. Excellent. Section 7. In this section, we need to answer questions relating to a piece of music that is written out, there is included in the paper. In the first question, we need to compare the 3 given bars with bar 7 of the flute part, so which I rewrite here. We have the treble clef, and bar 7 starts with a high C. This one here. This one sharp. Brilliant. Okay, to answer this, if the pitch you want to know, middle C, are you above or below? Middle C in treble clef is down here, so this is almost 2 octaves above. In the tenor clef, middle C is here, so this is 1 octave only above, almost an octave above. In the alto clef, middle C is here, so this is almost an octave above, so A and B are the same pitch. And in the bass clef, middle C is here, so this is an octave below. So these two are the same. This is an octave below, and this is almost 2 octaves above middle C. Let's see which of these 4 statements is the only correct one. Only A is correctly, so if we consider that we need to write this one an octave lower, then we will need to be 1 octave above middle C. So A and B are written an octave lower than the original one. Only A is correctly written an octave lower, no. A and B only, yes, because this is more than an octave below. This one here is 1 and 2 octaves below. B and C are correctly written, no. A, B and C, no, because they are different. So the correct answer is the second one. A and B are correctly rewritten 1 octave below, 1 octave below the original one, because it's here. This is the note, the starting note of these 2 examples. I hope this makes sense. Question 2. The highest note in the flute part is E, and the answer is no, because we have an F in bar 4. Bar 8 is the quietest and of the piece, and it is correct because there is a pianissimo at the end. The first beat of the first bar forms a subdominant chord in the key of E minor. So the subdominant chord is the chord on the 4th degree. So it's chord 4 in E minor. Chord 4 is Mi, Fa, Sol, La, so it's an A minor chord. And I think that it is false because we don't have an A minor chord, but we have a B major chord. So it is incorrect. False. The music gets gradually quicker near the end. No, because rallentando means slowing down. And there is a written out turn in the flute part in bar 6. And that is correct. Yes, that is the equivalent of It includes 5 notes, and then they rotate around the note do, si. So it is correct. Perfect. Question 3 and 4. In question 3, we need to select an instrument that would play the flute part without struggling or without sounding funny. And I think the only one is the violin, because the other ones are too low. They read in bass clef, so I think it's the violin. And in the following question, we need to say how many times the supertonic, so the second degree of E minor, which is Fa sharp, appears in the flute part. And the answer is 3. And here they are. And finally, question 5. We need to complete the 2 sentences by adding a number. There is a crescendo in the piano part in bar 5. And this is it. The tied notes in bar 8 of the flute part, which are a dotted minim tied to a dotted crotchet, are worth a number of semiquavers. Okay, so each crotchet is 4 semiquavers, plus the dot is 2 semiquavers because it's a quaver. And so we have 3 of these. We have here the same and the same. So we have 1, 2, and 3 of these 6. So 18. I hope this makes sense. Yeah, it's 6 plus 6 plus 6, because we have 2 dotted crotchets here included in the dotted minim. So we have 3 of these of this group in the whole bar. So 18 semiquavers in total. And with this, we have completed the B paper. Thank you so much for watching my videos, and see you on Instagram, TikTok, and my website, theoryvirtuoso.com. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you for watching my video. I hope it was useful. Don't forget to leave a like down there and share it with your friends. If it was useful for you, it will be useful for other people too. Now, if you want more sample papers published by ABRSM, click here and find the video you're looking for. In the meantime, I would like to thank all the ones who are messaging me and leaving comments. You know that I always read them and I always reply. And thanks to all the ones who are telling me that thanks to my videos, they have improved and feel more confident. This makes me so happy. What else to say? Happy music, everyone. Bye.